This time on Hot Shots.
So right off the bat, the camera is starting to move my headset.
A camera leads to chaos for Jerry.
If you let things distract you, they will. You just have to man up and take them for what they are.
While Mac takes on the year's first major championship.
Every one of us made the same exact mistake.
And one of the world's best shooters.
Any chance I have the opportunity to compete against him and with him, it's only going to make me better at what I do.
It might be the most exciting event in all of shooting. A pistol, a buzzer, and hundreds of pieces of falling steel. At the Pro-Am Championship in Frost-Proof, Florida, Run and Gun is the name of the game.
Pro-Am is an awesome event. It's my favorite of the year. Each year I look forward to just going out there competing with the best shooters on the planet and using the same gear, 10 rounds in the magazine, and just lots of steel. Got to mow them down, have fun, run fast, shoot fast. Everything's fast about this event.
A year ago, Michel overcame a steady rain, a late penalty, and a hard-charging Shannon Smith to win by just a single plate.
I know going into this competition that each plate is going to matter so much here because there's just the way the format is set up.
This year, the world's best shooters are back. Only this time, the man many consider to be the best is here as well. France's Eric Graffel, winner of multiple world championships, is trying his hand at Pro-Am shooting for the first time.
I've yet to see him shoot in the Pro-Am. He started shooting some Steel Challenge last year, and he talked about coming to the Pro-Am, but he never had. And to see him here, it's pretty cool. Anytime or any chance I have the opportunity to compete against him and with him, it's only going to make me better at what I do.
The rules here are simple. When the start signal sounds, the shooters have a predetermined amount of time, a par time, to knock down as many targets as they can. They'll do this over 8 stages of fire. He who knocks down the most steel wins.
This is an extremely simple and easy game for anyone to understand. The viewers at home can watch and they see how many targets are getting knocked down within that certain allotted amount of time. It's just a very exciting game.
But simple as it sounds, it's a style of shooting that creates its own kind of stress, even for the top shooters on the planet.
Oh my God! Are you joking?
Come on back.
Oh my God!
I know how you feel, man, because it's like...
It feels like there's a guy behind you doing this at the last...
At the last one.
Stop! Oh, legit.
Not even Max is immune.
Sorry.
So clear.
Everybody seems to be pretty comfortable in the first couple positions, but when you get to the end, you start rushing. And every one of us made the same exact mistake. You know, in the end, when we started to rush and we left 3 or 4 plates in the last position that we shouldn't have left. And that's just a part of the Pro-Am. That's just the mental toughness behind it. Everybody's just rushing, and it's happening to everybody. And it's funny to, you know, as soon as you're done shooting, somebody yells a curse word or some kind of vulgar language, but we're trying not to, it just comes out, you know, it just happens. You don't try to be a hero anyway, you just try to do your best to collect as many plates as you can consistently as possible.
Max's one shot after the buzzer costs him a 1-point penalty and allows Shannon Smith to win the first stage. It might be early, and it might be just a single point, but in Pro-Am shooting, it can also mean the difference between winning and losing.
So clear.
Every single point matters here, and anytime you shoot just that couple hundredths of a second over the buzzer, they'll take that plate away from you, so it's like you didn't hit it. And as I know, every single plate matters, and I need that plate.
So clear. If clear, hammer down. You trying to make me sweat? Too much of a beautiful day to sweat.
Jerry Michelek and family, meanwhile, are at the Clinton House in Clinton, South Carolina, competing in the 10-stage Freedom 3-gun.
It's the first major 3-gun of the year. I got the whole family with me, got the RV set up on the range. The stages of fire look really good, so we got everything tricked out. We're ready to play. We got ammunition. Time to go.
It's the first stage, and as is typically the case, Hot Shots producers have mounted a small video camera on Jerry's earmuffs in order to capture the action from Jerry's perspective.
One thing about a competitor, when you hang a camera on them, especially the first few times, it feels like you want to present the camera to the targets more than you want to shoot. So you become a cameraman more than a competitor. So I used to call it a kiss of death. I saw a lot of good competitors. Once you hung a camera on them, they can't chew gum and walk at the same time. So it's kind of a bit of a learning curve.
And right from the beginning, there's a problem. The camera has come loose. And it's threatening to pull Jerry's muffs off right in the middle of his run.
So right off the bat, the camera is starting to move my headset. I can feel my earmuff shifting, and that's very much a distracting thing.
But like you'd expect from the greatest competitive shooter in history, Jerry soldiers on as if nothing is happening. And after the run, he even needs to be reminded of the camera issue.
Oh. Sometimes being a hero pays dividends.
Your camera guy made that tough on you, didn't he?
Yeah, it kept falling off.
Oh, man.
We have to do something about that. My elbow pad fell off, camera falling off. It was falling to pieces. I just tried to stay in the moment. A lot of times, if you let things distract you, they will. You just have to man up and take them for what they are and try to execute a good stage of fire.
Turns out, Jerry plans for just such potential disasters.
I could see I was waiting for them to fall off, but that's why we always wear muffs and plugs. Because if your muffs fall off and you don't have plugs in, or your plugs fall off and you don't have muffs on, you have to stop and like put it back in. So that's why we always wear both, in case one falls off or goes bad. You don't have to stop in the middle of the stage and put them on. Always a plan B, always.
Hot Shots is presented by Cheaper Than Dirt, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter, and sponsored by Daniel Defense, lighter, stronger, better, and by Mossberg and the 930 JM Pro, the official shotgun of Jerry Michelek. Hot Shots proudly supports the National Rifle Association. We'll even pay $10 toward your new or renewing membership to the NRA when you sign up through HotShotsTV.net. Today's ultimate performance, presented by Cheaper Than Dirt, is from Jerry Michelek and daughter Lena at the 2014 Rockcastle Pro-Am in Kentucky. After posting a time of 34.62 on a difficult shotgun pistol rifle stage, Jerry sat back and proudly watched as Lena nearly matched it. Her time of 38.94 wasn't just the fastest time in the ladies division, it placed 5th overall out of 266 competitors.
What I told you, boss.
Father and daughter Michelek with today's ultimate performance, presented by Cheaper Than Dirt, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter.
Wow.
At the Pro-Am Championship in Florida, two-time champion Max Michel trails Shannon Smith by a single point. And as the Super Squad takes on Stage 2, there's a familiar face doing an unfamiliar job. Instead of wielding a pistol this morning, 3-gun champion Daniel Horner is playing personal photographer for his Army Marksmanship Unit teammate. But he still can't help himself when it comes to helping reset targets.
Don't want to just be wasting oxygen.
Controlled breathing is a big part of any elite shooter's pre-draw routine.
It's just like any other pre-execution checklist that a pilot might have, or whoever that's, you know, doing a routine that's the same thing over and over again. It's just something that kind of puts me into the zone, and it gives me the opportunity to click that switch and to say, hey, this is go time, this is for real.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Stop.
With 40 points available here, and in spite of his frustration,
Dude, I got so much adrenaline it hurts every time I screw up.
Max is able to put up the score to beat. Though he's still getting comfortable with this style of shooting.
Get to that last box, you know the buzzer's coming, that feeling starts to come over you, although this time I did do much better. I think that's the key to this. When you get to the last box, just don't rush. The buzzer's gonna come, when it comes, but don't rush and miss 4 plates because you're trying to rush to get it before the buzzer goes off. Easier said than done.
He's not alone outside of his comfort zone. Eric Raffel gets caught 2 rounds short.
Stop.
While Shannon Smith gets caught by the buzzer.
Stop.
Good, Shannon.
Thank you, thank you. Got 12 years left. All right, if you're in the high 30s.
We'll
see.
It's all right if you like those high scores.
With 2 stages down, Max is now tied for the lead.
That's great, I'm in a good position, but there's still a long way to go here, and in the Pro-Am, anything can happen.
The Mossberg 930 JM Pro might be the signature shotgun of the legendary Jerry Michel, but for a magical week in 2012, it might have been more fitting to call it the 930 LM Pro. Competing in her first ever shotgun match at the Ep3 World Shotgun Championship in Hungary, Lena Michelek, Jerry's then 17-year-old daughter, had the competition of her life, cruising to the Ladies World Championship with her beaming dad looking on.
930 competition line is relatively new, and to take it into a world championship and then win with it gives you an idea of how flexible a platform it is. Just a great overall package. I'd have to say it is the fastest shotgun I've ever shot.
It was an unforgettable moment for the Micheleks and for Mossberg, proud partners in the 930 JM Pro Series.
I was a little bit proud that she won the overall with it. She actually beat the old man, so what can I say? She did good.
At the Freedom 3 gun in South Carolina, Jerry Michelek has just put up a winning run in spite of equipment issues.
Ain't bad for an old man.
It's all good. Look good, man. That rifle looks good.
And as he settles into the flow of the match,
guy knows what he's doing in his first rodeo.
he knows he'll need to hold off an old foe.
He's young, he's got long legs and good eyes. You know, that's what I hate about a guy. He's pretty much a well-rounded package.
During the off-season, Clint Upchurch has transformed into the man in black. Suddenly forced to decide between shooting full-time and a lucrative 9-to-5 job, the decision he made is apparent in what you don't see. No sponsor logos, no affiliations, nothing but a recreational shooter and his guns.
He's not a sponsored shooter anymore, and that even makes him more dangerous. Takes a lot of pressure off of a guy just to have fun and not have a big banner on him and be a flag. So he's running after the ball, not necessarily with the ball, so that makes him a little bit more dangerous. He's going to be one to watch.
As usual, the open division title will likely come down to Jerry and Clint. On this pistol shotgun stage, Clint is the first shooter to put up a time of less than 30 seconds. His 26.7 seconds might be the best time of the match, but logos on the shirt or not, Clint isn't too excited about it.
I ain't cut out for this stuff no more, man.
What's shaking your head for?
Hey, just all the sloppies. Pistol shooting down here.
First to break 30 today.
Really? Just too many shots with a pistol. A little out of place. Oh, what you gonna do, man? Typical Upchurch fashion, right?
Jerry is up next.
All right.
First with his signature Mossberg 930.
Missed one.
Jerry's time is 2.5 seconds off Clint's pace.
Had a little trouble on the handgun, seeing what I needed to see, and about 3 seconds worth of garbage in there. But there's gonna be a lot of garbage being swapped during the match. I'm just trying to keep him honest. If I could push him a little bit, maybe it'd be to my advantage. By the end of the match, get him squirming a little bit. So he's a good guy. He can hold his own. So I just got to make him a little nervous, maybe. Well, he might be making me nervous, but it'll be fun by the end of the week. See what happens.
Bye.
In frost-proof Florida, the early nerves are giving way to some blistering performances as the shooters reach stage 3. With 21 points available here, both Eric Graffel and Shannon Smith are able to clean every plate. Their perfect scores mean Max Michel will need perfection himself just to keep pace.
When anyone in front of you shoots a perfect run and then another guy does it, you know, it puts the pressure on you. If you want to continue to be at this pace, if you want to continue to run with the big dogs, now it's your turn.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Sorry.
I didn't know you were coming back.
I'm not going to quit till I hear the buzzer today. So I rushed back. I didn't want to break the 180. It was unfortunate I hit the range officer. I didn't want to hit him, obviously. But I wanted to get back so I didn't get disqualified to make that last shot.
With disaster avoided, Max moves on, still tied for the lead, and leaving only a memorable story for the range officer behind.
I didn't expect it, really, you know?
These guys just a little too quick, aren't they?
Yeah, they are quick. It's a lot of fun to watch, you know, because this is a treat. I mean, people are to pay to watch them.
The world's best pistol shooters are nearing the halfway point of the Pro-Am Championship at the Universal Shooting Academy in Frostproof, Florida, the same range that will host the upcoming Ep3 World Shoot. That's the match that's at the top of Max Michel's priority list. And though the Pro-Am is a far different style of shooting than what he'll see in October, the world-class competition and match conditions will provide honest answers to what he still needs to work on.
Physically, I know there's things I need to work on, and I can take things from this competition that's going to help me physically as well and put them in my training regimen leading up to the competition. But mentally, there's no better way to prepare than shooting against a guy like Shannon Smith and, of course, Eric Graffel, who's won 5 or so IPSC World Championships in the past. That mental ability to look across the range and see that caliber of shooters is going to help me greatly in October. Shoot a mag back there. You don't just a mag. That's it. Shoot a mag and hope what you get.
As Max's squad reaches stage 4 of this 8-stage match, Max and Shannon Smith are tied for the lead.
Shannon just doesn't make mistakes. That's his game. Eric, for that matter, is just he's Eric. I mean, he's like a machine. And so I knew these guys were going to be competitive all the way through, and it's exactly what I expected, and I wouldn't want to go down this way with anyone else. It's going to be an amazing battle all the way to the end.
There are 40 available points here, and a brutally difficult set of plates at 30 yards to start out.
If I told you, hey, you have to shoot a 6 or an 8-inch plate, 8 of them within 11 rounds at 30 yards, sure, any one of us can do it. But when you say you have to do it and you have to shoot several other targets with a 20-yard sprint and you only have X amount of time to do it in, well, you don't have much time anymore from that first box.
Shooter ready?
While I would love to sit there and accurately aim at each individual plate, my goal is to get as many down as quickly as I can, giving me more time for the 20-yard sprint and more targets downrange as well. tough one. You know, you got 8 small pieces of steel at 30 yards. I think it's a possibility. A guy like Shannon could clear it. So I could potentially lose 4 or 5 plates here, which would suck, but I think it's still going to be a decent score.
Smith, runner-up to Max last year and a former Army Ranger, is up next.
This stage is set up exactly for Shannon's strengths. Those long, small shots that take discipline. This is what he is. This is what he's all about. He doesn't make mistakes. And sure enough, you know, Shannon comes through like Shannon and did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Had an excellent run.
With the shooters now at the halfway point, Shannon Smith has grabbed sole possession of the lead. There are still 4 stages to go. If Max Michel hopes to defend his title, the time to make a move is now.
When there's an opportunity here like this and I see that I'm trailing, I'm not particularly fond of it. And I need to make sure that I get on my game, do what I need to do to prepare to give myself a shot to win.